Today, we're diving deep into one of the most transformative decades in a person's life, the journey from age 12 to 21. It's a roller coaster of physical, mental, and emotional changes, and understanding what's happening can make all the difference for both teens and parents. Let's start at age 12. This is where the curtain rises on adolescence. For many, puberty is in full swing. You'll notice growth spurts, changes in body shape, and the development of secondary sexual characteristics. It can feel awkward and confusing. Emotionally, 12-year-olds are often caught between wanting independence and still needing the security of childhood. Their thinking is becoming more complex. They start to grasp abstract concepts, but their decision-making skills are still developing. Peer groups become incredibly important, and fitting in feels like the most crucial thing in the world. They're starting to form their own identity, separate from their family. Moving on to 13. Welcome to the teenage years. Physically, puberty continues its march. For boys, voices start to deepen. For girls, menstrual cycles might begin if they haven't already. This is a time of rapid physical maturation. Cognitively, 13-year-olds are getting better at abstract thought. They can argue more logically, which parents might notice during disagreements. Socially, friendships deepen and become more complex. There's a huge desire for independence, which often leads to testing boundaries and rules at home. It's a normal, healthy part of growing up, even if it feels challenging. Now, let's talk about age 14. At this stage, many teens are right in the middle of their biggest growth spurts. Self-consciousness about their changing bodies is at an all-time high. Acne might become a major concern, and there's a lot of focus on physical appearance. Mentally, they're developing a stronger sense of right and wrong, and they start to think about bigger picture issues, like social justice or their future. Friendships are everything, and peer pressure can be intense. This is also when many teens start to explore romantic interests. It's a time of intense emotions and figuring out who they are and where they fit in. At 15, things start to get a bit more serious. Physical growth might begin to slow down for some. Cognitively, they're capable of more sophisticated thinking. They can handle more complex academic subjects and start thinking more concretely about the future, like what they want to do after high school. They crave more independence and responsibility, maybe wanting to get a part-time job or have more freedom with friends. Their relationship with parents can be a mix of conflict and closeness as they navigate this push for autonomy. They're building their identity, experimenting with different styles, music, and interests. 16 is a major milestone year. For many, it's the year they can get a driver's license, which represents a huge leap in freedom and responsibility. Physically, most have gone through the major changes of puberty. Mentally, their ability to think about long-term consequences improves, though the part of the brain responsible for impulse control is still developing. This means they can make mature decisions one minute and impulsive ones the next. Social circles are well established, and romantic relationships may become more serious. The pressure of school, social life, and future planning can feel overwhelming. At 17, young people are on the cusp of adulthood. They look and often think like adults, but they're still legally minors. This can be a frustrating position to be in. They're deeply involved in planning for their future, whether that's college applications, vocational training, or entering the workforce. They have a more stable sense of self and their own values. They can engage in deep, meaningful conversations and are often very idealistic about the world. Their relationships with parents often start to shift from a child-parent dynamic to more of an adult-to-adult connection, with more mutual respect. 18. Adulthood has officially arrived. This is a huge legal and social transition. They can vote, sign contracts, and are considered responsible for their own actions. For many, this is the year they graduate high school and move on to the next chapter, whether that's college, a job, or travel. This brings a mix of excitement and anxiety. They are now tasked with managing their own time, finances, and well-being. It's a period of immense learning and adaptation. While they are legally adults, their brains are still maturing, especially the prefrontal cortex, which governs judgment and long-term planning. By 19, many are settling into their new lives as young adults. If they're in college, they're navigating a new social and academic environment. If they're working, they're adjusting to the demands of a full-time job. This is a time for exploring identity on a deeper level, figuring out who they are outside the context of their family and high school. They form new relationships, explore new interests, and start to build a life that is truly their own. Financial independence becomes a bigger goal. And they're learning to balance work, study, and social life. At 20, they're no longer teenagers. They've had a couple of years of adulting under their belt. Many have a clearer idea of their career path and personal goals. Their thinking is much more nuanced, and they can see issues from multiple perspectives. Relationships become more mature, focused on shared values and mutual support. They're solidifying their personal beliefs and values. While they are much more independent, they often still rely on family for emotional and sometimes financial support. This is a time of building the foundations for their future. Finally, we arrive at 21. This age often marks the completion of the transition into young adulthood. It's another legal milestone. And for many, it coincides with finishing college and entering the professional world. By now, the brain's development is nearing completion, leading to better impulse control and long-term planning skills. They have a much more stable sense of identity. They are capable of forming intimate, long-lasting relationships. They are fully engaged in building their career, managing their finances, and creating a life that aligns with their values. The journey from the awkward 12-year-old to the capable 21-year-old is complete. What a decade! From the hormonal storms of early puberty to the confident stride of a young adult, the years from 12 to 21 are nothing short of incredible. Understanding these stages can help us all be more patient, supportive, and appreciative of this amazing process of growing up. Thanks so much for watching. Please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe.